When I graduated high school, I was only 17 years old, and I couldn't get into the Army until I was 18. And from there, we went to the staging area in Southampton to go on the invasion, and we were supposed to be in the first wave of the invasion, but my outfit, 90% of them or 80% of them got diarrhea, and we had to wait 3 or 4 days to get a boat to go into Omaha Beach. When I got into Antwerp, I went to a department store, and I found out that they sold instruments. So I went to the back of the store. I was going to go out. When I went to the back of the store, I heard an explosion. If I had gone out, I would have been hit by a buzz bomb. Of course, that whole place blew up. Then there was the Battle of the Bulge. I was given ammunition and rations, and I was told to go up to the front. So I went to Lieutenant Mudrud. So he told the colonel that if you take my man out of the band, you don't have a band. So he says, go back to your outfit. So I saved my life by not going into the Battle of the Bulge. I must have had good luck somewhere along the line, because it's an unnatural thing to happen.
My name is Stan Saltz. I was drafted into service at the age of 18 and a half out of high school. And
what year was that?
1944. And from there I said, wow, I can finally be free of my mother's apron strings.
What, the Battle of the Bulge, tell me what that was about.
Okay, the Battle of the Bulge was the Germans counterattacked the American army. The guys whose foxhole I took over gave me a hug. He says, thank God. I heard a strange sound. A grrr, grrr. And I followed the sound. I got out of my foxhole and I crawled over to where the sound was coming from, and there was this German army police dog. His master must have beaten the hell out of him. He was bloody and everything. And I crawled over to him, and I took some snow and I wiped it all over him to get the blood, and I grabbed him by the collar and dragged him back to my foxhole. I had a K-ration, I opened it up and gave it to him. That dog never left my side. He could smell a German half a mile away. I carry his picture in my wallet.
Did you give him a name?
Santa, 24th of December. I became an atheist April 29th, 1945. And we were walking through the woods, and we came to a clearing, and I saw a strange sight. I saw the barbed wire enclosure. As I got closer to it, I saw guys hanging over the barbed wire fence in striped uniforms and all that. It was the Dachau, the concentration camp. No one ever heard about concentration camps in service. Well, I knew there was something strange because there was a strange odor in the air. And as I got closer, I realized that this was a camp to kill people.
What happened with your dog, with Santa?
Santa. Well, I was going to take Santa home. And the train slowed down to a stop. And he jumped off, and the train started up, and I lost him, and my whole squad cried for a week steady, because that dog saved our lives.
Did you ever have any pets since then? Did you yourself?
No, no pets.
No one could ever replace Santa.
No. No one could replace Santa.
Name is Bernard Manners. It is changed from Bernard Murowitz.
So what was tell me about the B-17. What was the significance of this plane?
The reason it got the name Flying Fortress, when that plane was introduced, and there were reporters there, this one reporter looked at it because it had guns in the nose, guns in the tail, guns on top, guns on bottom, guns on the sides. And this one reporter looked at it, he says, "My God, it's a flying fortress." And that's where it got the name, the Flying Fortress. The planes were delivered like other people, primarily women pilots.
Your first mission, you were sent to Berlin. And do you recall that mission?
I remember that we were heading like I'm heading towards you. And over there, like where the picture is, the sky was blocked with smoke. So we talked to each other. We said, "Boy, I'm glad I'm not going there." The next thing that happened, the whole thing started turning. Before you knew it, there it was right in front of you. And that's where we headed.
You were flying to somewhere in Germany. You completed your bombing run, and then what happened?
On the way back, we were shot down. We lost all 4 engines. I told my crew to bail out, but they refused. They said, "Don't worry, you're going to land." I told them they're crazy, but I had no choice but to stay with the plane.
So when you got hit and your engines all went off, or you shut them off?
I shut them
They
off.
went off. What was your elevation at that point?
Oh, about 28,000. Well, we landed luckily at the very beginning of it, and we still ran off the end. And we hit the dirt, the plane did this, and then dropped. And we all sighed a sigh of relief, because it went a little bit, and then stopped. Well, the war ended. We were asked if we wanted to see Auschwitz. Of course we did. Well, they gave us a Jeep. We were driving to Auschwitz, and all of a sudden, we were attacked by a group of Nazi soldiers. The war was over. They attacked us anyhow.
My name is Gilbert Colin. I was born in the Bronx on August 16th, 1925. I had 17 weeks of basic training. Went on a Liberty ship, took 30 days to reach Oran, Africa at that time. I threw up, I was seasick every day of the 30 days. I was known as the Yeshiva Heaver, which at that time was funny, yet it wasn't funny. And we landed in Oran, Africa. I was sent as a replacement at Anzio, and we pushed out of Anzio, and that was my first time in combat. And I lost a lot of my friends who were 18, 19, 20 years of age. And I was just a fortunate person that I wasn't killed. We were relieved by a Japanese outfit, the Nisi, called 442nd, which was the most highly decorated and the highest casualties in the Army. The lieutenant wanted a squad at night to reconnoiter the German lines at night, and my squad was picked. I was the only Jew in the company, in the squad, and a man and a young guy by the name of Deneen from Canada said, "I don't think Gil should go." And the lieutenant said, "Why?" And he says, "Because that's SS territory, and you know Gil is Jewish, and if he's ever captured, you know what they'll do to him." But the lieutenant ordered me to stay, and this Dineen took my place, and the squad never came back. So because of him, and it brings tears to my eyes every time I think of it, that he saved my life. I still think of the time I was in battle. I think the world today is in chaos. I think that the people in this country don't know that we are at war. I think they're very complacent. And maybe I'm saying that because I'm a little bitter, but I think I have a right to be. Not that I consider myself a hero, but it's just, it's very hard to explain.